morning, everyone. Welcome to my studio. My name is Kelly, and today we're going to play with a little bit of mixed media. If you are new to my channel, thanks for stopping by. I hope you'll take a minute to subscribe and put the thumbs up if you see anything in today's video that you like. I do a little bit of everything paper crafting, so I hope you'll come back. For those of you that are returning, thanks for coming back. It's always good to see friends. Today I wanted to talk about, let me back up. Last week I took a 4-day retreat. It was art and junk journal retreat, and we were there Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and then because I bought the all access pass, I had Thursday as well. And on Sunday evening prior to the course, we did a little mixed media piece with Michelle Lulf, L-U-L-F, and I'll link her channel down below, to do just a small piece. And so I'm taking this idea and I'm going even smaller, okay? We started with a background. We also painted circles and then come back and cut those out when they had dried, and we added those to the top. We've added some embossing, some stenciling. I'm going to start with the basics today because I don't have a lot of time. But this is a premiere, so if you are here watching this live on May 17th, I believe it is, at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're in the chat room right next door. Come on over and say hi. Or if lurking is more your comfort zone, that's fine too. Okay, so I'm starting with, for those of you who don't know, I am in a group. It is a blogging group. It's called What's on Your Work Desk Wednesday. WOYWW is the acronym. And we have been meeting, I have not, but the initial group has been meeting for over 780 consecutive weeks. Even when our leader, Miss Julia, had to have brain surgery, we never skipped a beat. We were there every week. And this is our 15th year, and we're celebrating. So we are going to be doing our annual ATC swap. So I decided to take something like this process and turn it into an ATC, which is 2.5 by 3.5. Now I started with a base, and I'm going to show you what I did with the base, because I'm also trying to use a minimum of 3 products so I can enter these in the Spectrum Art Creations and Friends Facebook group as a monthly challenge. So I'm using the metallic gilding paste that I bought from Madi. And I'm doing this a little different. I'm going to show you on a piece here what this looks like. I'll probably have to come back and cut more of these, but this is okay. I'm using a mixed media paper, and it comes with the sponge in the top, and you just swirl it in your paint, and you get this gorgeous color. Isn't that pretty? But I decided I didn't want it quite that dark. So what I've done, let me see if I can clean up my mat here before I lay anything in it. I'm just squirting my silicone mat down, and then I can come back and wipe this up with a paper towel. And it doesn't get wasted, because I can always use this napkin in something else, okay? So what I did was, and you can just see my, excuse me, my well up here. I'm taking and getting some of the gilding paste on my sponge, and I'm just putting it in my well, okay? And the sponge stores right in the cap of your gilding paste. So it's always ready to use. And it's protected so it doesn't dry out. Okay. Then I'm taking a little bit of water, and I'm going to mist that and water it down just a little bit. And then I'm going to come back, and then I get this lighter blue. I just toned it down a little bit. Just like that. And I tried to do it to where I didn't have quite so much of a brush stroke. And I think a little bit more ink will help that. Okay? So that's going to be the base. Now, once I do that, I do need to come back and dry it if I'm going to work with it right away. But just because you can, this lets you know that you can tone this down and not have it quite such a stark contrast. Now see, this one is even darker than this one. And this is the original. See the difference? So it's a matter of how much water you put down as to how light of a color you get. I may even go back and water this down some more. But then all I'm going to do And you're a crafter, so you know that heat guns make noise, but this won't take but a minute. And then all I have to do is go back and hit it with the heat gun, and it doesn't take long. You know, because water dries relatively quickly unless you have a pool of it. So there's that, and it's ready to go. Okay, the next thing I needed to do was I wanted to put the What's on Your Work Desk emblem on our card. So I am doing this, and I may even go with the darker background and then do these lighter, we'll see. But what I've done is I've started with I'm not sure, where's my ruler at here? I know they're 3/4 wide and they're 2.5 inches long. Oh, it's going to be one of those mornings. And I started with this die set that I bought from Madi. Multiple squares, and you just flip them out till you get them apart. And they just, now, these were really stiff, and the smaller they are, the harder they are to get out. But you just turn them till they pop out just like that, okay? Well, I did that with this one right here, the second smallest one. And I got this. No, that's not the one I wanted. I used the smallest one. If I can get it out of my metallic dish over here. I used the smallest one. And then I used my centering ruler. Now, I have a centering ruler from Madi, but I like this one because the numbers are bigger. And I just found the center of my strip, and then that'll let me know where I needed to come in and trace my letter. So I just center the dot on there, and then I could come back and I could trace this. Now, I trace these with a pencil first, so if I had any squiggles I could erase. And I did that. Is that the one I used, or did I use the inside? I think I used the inside. So let's go back and erase our outside line. I think I did use the inside. So let's line that up with the center. Put that dot in the center of my die square opening. Nope, I used the bigger one. I was right the first time. So let's go back. Yeah, I know I used this one. So recenter. And I can just go across the top and the bottom. And then I can come back and I can draw those in. Just like that. And then I do 2 more on either side of that. And it's not easy to hold it in place, especially if it's early morning. Your trimmers are acting up because of the weather. And why doesn't it seem like this one wants to fit? It's the same size. Oh, I traced the inside, that's why. Okay, let's do that one more time. Find my center. I thought I used the outside, but apparently I used the inside. It just didn't seem like the letter was going to fit, so. Now, if I was smart, I would take and do one of these strips and cut them out as a jig. That would make more sense, right? And I may do that because I always make my ATCs in sets of 12. So it'd be much easier to trace 12 of these out this way. Okay, I'll put that back in my metal dish. Get that dot out of there. And then we come back in and we do W, O, Y. And see, if I didn't get all that dot out, I covered it up with the V on the Y. Work desk, Wednesday. Now that I have that part done, which took some work, now I can come back with my Ranger embossing pen, which I got from Madi, and I really need my cheaters on for this. Now, I'm not going to get an entire card done this morning. It's just not going to happen. But I'm coming back around with my Ranger embossing pen, trying to keep my head out of the way. And just outlining that with the black embossing pen. And then I'm coming back and I'm tracing my letters. Okay. And then and I've got that part done. Then I have my black embossing powder from Stampin' Up. And I'm just going to give that a healthy coat. And we'll fix that. Let's get the excess embossing powder out of the way first. As you can see, an embossing powder goes a long, long way, because it doesn't take much. And I'm going to take and come back with this. And I use a low mini clipboard in foil, because when you do it with foil, what it does is it allows you, and I had a little bitty paintbrush here a while ago, and now I don't see where it went. So we'll just get another one. What this does is when you heat this from the top, it allows the heat to bounce back through and heat from the back without having to hold it. And that's all it takes to do that. And then I have one of the emblems for the card. Now I think I am going to do these darker, like this one, and then come back and do this one way or the other and do that there. Now I'm going to have a circle that is painted, and I thought about doing it in purple with the Viva 3D stamp paint. I've not played with this one yet. Oh, but look how rich that is. Look how rich that is. Gorgeous. And I can do it the same way. I can put a little bit, I need a palette knife or something here. I can put a little bit of this. Give it a stir, because it's got some liquid separation in it. And I can put that right there. Good thing I'm not using that piece it just flicked over onto. Okay. And then I'm going to need a paintbrush. And I think I'm going to use this one. Let's use this one. And I'm going to swirl this around. Now I know I'm going to have to cut more of my pieces here, I think. But I'll paint an entire sheet. And I want to really water this down because I want it to be really light, because then I'm going to stamp the number 15 and emboss it over the top of this. So I want to really water this down and get it really light. And let's pop that on our clipboard. Now I'm not going to get this all done this morning. I should have done it yesterday. but I had things to do yesterday, and by the time I get home, for those of you who don't know, I am an hour in either direction of shopping. So that's a 2-hour round trip, plus the shopping itself and the driving. Now don't get me wrong, I don't mind that. It just does crimp my time sometimes. Now I also have this stamp set from Madi that I ordered from off of their Etsy shop. And I just tagged it Madi's Words. And I'm going to hit that with Versamark. And why Versamark? Because Versamark allows me to do more embossing. And I want this to stand out. Oops, wrong slot. So then I'm going to stamp this on here. And this is probably not wide enough. But that's okay. We make it work. Just like that. Now you can't see where I stamped that because Versamark is, for the most part, unless you buy it colored specifically, the Versamark is clear. And I'm just going to hit that with the embossing powder. See, now you can see it. The important thing is when you use your embossing powder, put the excess back right away, because if you don't, when you turn on your heat gun, your embossing powder is going to fly everywhere. Okay, then I'm going to put this on here. This. Now, if I did not want to have this as a separate piece, similar to the circles that I cut here for this, I could have stamped this directly on the card. But I wanted that little piece. Put my cheaters back on, and we are about done for the morning. Because I want this to be able to... Now, I am going to lose some of my speckles on the outside, but that's okay. Now for this one, I am going to find a big number 15 to stamp on here. But then it is going to go, and I can press these out with my little iron and that will help. But before I put these together, I need to be able to stamp my ATC information on the back. And I like that. Let's just do that. Just like that. Now, if I think that's a little too much, because that's embossed, I'm not going to disturb it. I can come back and I can wipe this down a little bit and thin it out even more. But then this will go here. This will go here with the number 15. And I haven't figured out what I'm putting up here yet. I'm still working on that. Maybe I'll use Shine Bright from the stamp set and put it up here on a separate circle. But I could do that. I could add another partial circle up here in a different color, kind of for that to mat onto. So that's going to do it for me in the studio today. I know it was quick, short, and we did not actually complete a project. But if I didn't do this, it wasn't going up today. So I will have these to show tomorrow on SAC Saturday. At least I'll have one completed, but I'd like to have them all done because I have a couple that have to go to Australia. And, you know, mail service in the U.S. is slow enough without trying to get it to another country. So that's going to be it for me in the studio today. Thanks for joining me for my Friday premiere. I will see you back here tomorrow for SAC Saturday, you know, since we're using Spectrum Art Creation products. And I will see you around the channels. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Creative blessings.